The drink, we're clicking to the environment. We're clicking to the environment. We're drinking to the environment. Yes.
And we're back on the drink with the wonderful and beautiful GraceAnne Taylor.
Thank you. Ah.
All right, so we were about to just go into, off camera, we were just about to go into the projects that you've been working on at Save Barnegat Bay. So if you could definitely go briefly into a few, and then we'll dive deeper into like the first one.
Sure. So there is kind of this overarching thing that's happening in our watershed that I think really highlights a lot of the work we're working on. And so there has been $10 million given to Barnegat Bay Projects from the Department of Environmental Protection. And while Save Barnegat Bay did not receive $10 million, although that would be dreamy, that would be wonderful. But our small nonprofit of 2.5 employees, paid employees and volunteers and board members and everybody, we have received portions of some of those different grants. And that means that is going to help us do some specific projects. So basically this $10 million throughout the entire watershed is going to allow all different entities and groups to do projects that are going to help improve the Barnegat Bay and the watershed, and so our watershed goes all the way from Six Flags Great Adventure all the way out in Jackson, across Ocean County, from the west to the east, all the way out to Barnegat Bay. So these projects include all kinds of different things, and so there's kind of a few that we're specifically working on as Save Barnegat Bay, and one of the most, I think, we have two that are kind of really interesting. One is working with testing the water quality in the Toms River, and then further bringing in dogs that can smell human waste, and trying to find where that pollution is coming from, which is kind of cool because dogs is something, everyone loves dogs, right? And they can be trained. They can be trained to smell different things and track different things. So we'll use water quality testing first, the kind where we bring the water to a lab, and then with more detail, we can bring these dogs in and find the connections between where we think the pollution could be coming into the river, which is really a big deal. So what you don't know is that there is a sophisticated report that's published every 2 or 3 years from the EPA talking about water quality, and the Toms River consistently fails. And when I say Toms River, I mean the part of it that's surrounded by the 5 towns at the mouth. So Toms River, South Toms River, Island Heights, Ocean Gate, Pine Beach, and Beechwood.
Oh, that's
so
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So not upstream, not up in Jackson, not up in northern or western Ocean County.
Be healthier, but I actually want to pause really quick. They have human feces detecting dogs now?
So it's a very specific It's a very specific group of dogs. All dogs are not trained to do this. So, anyone that trains animals knows that it takes an extreme amount of dedication to train an animal to do something.
Yeah, for sure.
And so for these particular dogs, they were trained to find this particular scent in this particular way. So they use their services. There was actually a project in Monmouth County and on the Navesink River, and Clean Ocean Action was very successful with this same exact process. And so now Save Barnegat Bay partnered with Clean Ocean Action to we're going to be partnering to complete this current project. And it's a really big deal because we're partnering with all the towns that I mentioned, and we're engaging with the local Marine Science High School and obviously Save Barnegat Bay. So there's just a lot of community entities that are going to come together and hopefully try to solve the problem as to why the water in the Toms River is so
bad.
it's not passing for recreation. It's not passing for
I mean,
supporting aquatic life. So it's just, it's not
that's
real good right now.
well, that's like one, gross as hell, and two, that's incredible how like you're getting to you're enabling the ability to pretty much source out the non-point source pollution, so that it becomes a
Exactly.
point source. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's
Now my
it's
nerdiness
definitely one
came
of the
out.
yeah, we're definitely excited about that project. And then the other one that's kind of like we call them sexy topics because they are topics that everybody talks about. The other one has to do with jellyfish. And if
Okay.
you have never heard that jellyfish are a problem in Barnegat Bay, either you're not
No,
from
I
around
have
here or you live
I've never heard that ever in my life.
it's it's a slight problem we have, and it's actually not a unique problem. It's a problem that exists in estuaries. Actually, in the Chesapeake particularly has this same problem, where there's jellyfish that just kind of end up being just horrendous. They eat all kinds of juvenile fish and shellfish and crustaceans and everything else, and they consume so much of that beginning of the food chain, and they disrupt the diversity and the whole ecosystem.
Really?
And one of the reasons, well, so yeah.
Well, I mean, I knew they ate like small, I guess, organisms, but I didn't really exactly know exactly what, like crustacean. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. So, well, if you think about it, an estuary, which is Barnegat Bay is an estuary, it's a shallow body of water that is mixed with salt and fresh ocean and river water, and juvenile fish live there. So if juvenile fish start in the estuary, and as to be a juvenile, you have to start out as a microscopic thing. So blue crabs start out as, floating plankton. Fish start out as, very small microscopic plankton at times, depending on the species. Other species of fish are always small. Silver sides, mummy chugs, killifish. We've got, all kinds of, shrimp. So there's all these very small creatures that are integral in our food chain. And if the jellyfish are eating them, because the jellyfish they're not
They'll have a prey.
they're
Or
not
they'll have
picky.
a predator.
Yeah, they are going to eat the beginning of the food chain and cause a disruption in the balances, and so they're so prolific.
You like kind of muted or whatever, so I couldn't really hear what you just said.
Oh no.
You kind of went in and out.
Oh no. I was just saying the jellyfish the population is taking over. So they're prolific. There's too many, and so the balances are all thrown off. And so one of the reasons we have too many is obviously pollution. They don't mind bad water quality, but also because they like their baby, the form they have as a baby, which is a polyp, attaches to a bulkhead, and we have a lot of bulkheads in Barnegat Bay.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah. So one of the things with this project that we're working on with the local volunteer dive team, Save Barnegat Bay, and again, that Marine Science High School, is to educate people about how they can better take care of their docks by scrubbing them in the wintertime so that we can get those polyps off. And then obviously controlling non-point source pollution. And then obviously, actually putting a shovel in the ground, if you will. We're going to be scrubbing bulkheads, and we're going to be removing derelict docks. I think a lot of people have these like floating docks that they don't care about or don't want or don't use anymore, and they're just collecting all kinds of critters that are not necessarily native to Barnegat Bay or helping. The balances are just off basically. So we're really excited. Those two projects are we think are really hands-on, and I think we're going to really have a big impact on reaching our community as we educate about them. And they're huge issues, both things. So certainly not all encompassing. There's a lot of other projects going on with that $10 million that are really important. But Save Barnegat Bay, those are two of the ones we're working on that I think kind of are good to talk about because they are going to be happening and the whole community is going to have to get involved in order for them to be successful.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everyone just get involved and love the bay.
There is so much someone can do. I think it sounds overwhelming because like I'm explaining it in depth because like you asked me to talk about it, but people don't have to get that involved to like do something good, you know. So just reach out. I will find the flavor of volunteering that's good for the person with 1 hour as opposed to the person with, you know, 10. I don't wanna scare anyone away.
No, what you're saying is pretty much like if you want to volunteer, there's literally like a whole bunch of level of, you know, in-depth involvement that you could be a part of, not just like, okay, let me take this, you know, analysis data and dissect it and whatever, especially if like you're not into that kind of stuff. Like you could go and pick up a fish and just say, hey, like, you know, what's going on with this thing or whatever. Like, we could do a lot more simple things is what I'm saying.
Yeah, honestly, I tell people all the time that the easiest thing you can do, and this isn't just Barnegat Bay, this is across all fronts of environmental, anything, but I used it for environmental. The best thing you can do, absolutely best thing you can do is tell someone else what you were taught. Education is the easiest thing to do. It requires no supplies. It requires almost no time. Yeah, obviously it takes time to talk, but like it doesn't require prep time. All you have to do is share something that you learned with someone else. And that is huge because the reason we're going to make better decisions is because we understand how to. So yeah, definitely easiest thing, share one thing. And that doesn't require, you don't have to sign a volunteer waiver. You don't have to, you don't have to do anything weird or special. So.
No, that's awesome. And
yeah.
your sound just like kind of came right back into it. I'm like, whoa.
Oh no.
I don't know if it was like your computer or whatever, but you're back in town, so it's cool. We understood what you just said, and I could always put subtitles. Anyway, no, that's awesome though. That's so cool. So like, at the end, we'll go through the huge question that I always ask everyone, and also how to get involved with you, like actually like getting your email or whatever contact information you got.
For sure. I'm gonna turn on the light really quick. Keep talking.
Yep, no problem. All right, so I guess that was 2 projects that you talked about. What are like the titles of those 2? Just for my organization.
So the sea nettle education is pretty much, well, we're calling that, I'm trying to remember what we like branded it for the public, but basically we're calling it SNEC for short. We're going to be hiring a sea nettle education coordinator. So that's what we have for that one, the sea nettle project. And then the other one we're calling Rally for Barnegat Bay, the one where we're bringing the 5 towns together. We're rallying all the towns and we're bringing them together so that we can educate everybody about the water quality of the Toms River and how we can improve it.
Okay, so it was like the letter C and then nettle, or is it like?
No, sea nettle is the creature. So sea nettle is spelled S-E-A. So it's SNEC, S-N-E-C.
Okay, S-N-E-C. Okay, and then the one that you just said, I'm sorry, what again?
Rally for Barnegat Bay. So we're rallying all the towns together.
Oh, cool. Rally for Barnegat Bay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
B-Bay. Speech. Rally. We love the Bay.
I love it.
That's so cool though. That's awesome. So like, okay, so then like what, oh my God, I just lost it. All right, so you got these 2 big events going on. Are they gonna be like, happening far in the future, or kind of like?
That's a really great question. So a lot of the projects for the $10 million grants that went out, we have not started them formally yet. We've started kind of talking about them. You were actually at our conference where we tried to bring all the partners of all the different groups together so that people could meet each other and learn about the other projects that are going on. So
the charting, right? The charting for
yeah,
Barnegat
charting
Bay?
of course. Yeah,
Charting
so
course,
charting.
yeah, that was a fun time.
Yay! I'm so glad you had a good time. That was.
I told you I had a great time. It was awesome.
So I hope that everyone hears that, because like thinking about going to like a formal conference may not always sound fun, because you think like, oh, I'm like going into sessions, but one of the things we tried to do
No, it was not.
was make it fun.
No, I mean like it had the formal edge to it, but I mean I was also like I was filming the event. So like you guys could like check out the video. I believe it's on your Facebook now, right? Or your YouTube, whatever. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you.
Yes, I don't know if I published it live, but if
whatever.
I did,
But I'm pretty sure you have the video. I obviously have the video. But needless to say,
there's a group charting a course on Facebook, so people can see all different
there you go, yeah.
footage, like not just yours, but like all different groups of people that were filming. Whatever.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. You're good. But also I'm trying to say is like even if you're not like a I guess I would say like a greenie like us or whatever you want to call it. If you still want to like learn how to get more involved or like in your own community by going to an event for that is hosted by GraceAnne and coordinated by her, like honestly, like no joke, even when I went there, like I was like, okay, I'm not this in depth with it, like I'm still enthusiastic about the environment, but you're like, oh no, like do A, B, and C, like go check those out, and it was like perfect. I understood it, like the I guess what I'm trying to say is like the way the groups were portraying the projects that they were working on, it was honestly like so freaking simple. It was like, oh, I could do that in my backyard. Like, let's go. Like, whatever,
Well,
like,
that was the point. Yeah, we want to make it, doable.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys made it so that like the common person that's not even like like head-on environment, like could still get involved, even if it's a little bit of whatever it is. Like, a little bit of action, like anyone could literally get involved, and it's honestly like as easy as playing on a playground. It's so easy.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you had fun at that event, but that event was like an opportunity for us to highlight all the different projects going on, and kind of get all the networking going. But so to answer your original question, these projects will be going on for a few years, so it's like a grant cycle. So there's going to be
cool.
Yeah, so it'll be a few years of different stages of these things going on. So I'm sharing it with your listeners, thinking that maybe if there's any interest, that if there's any interest, then at least people can start to get kind of start following our social media.
Right. Get a little familiar with your stuff.
Right. So then if there's something they're interested in, they could be like, oh, I want to stay in tune with that,
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, at the end of the video and everything, at the end of this whole show, I'll definitely get more information from you, and then I'll just put it in the description and all that stuff, so they could just click on it and they're good.
Sounds good.
Oh my God, this is great. All right, so I want to learn more about this stuff. All right, so like, no, my nerdiness is coming out now. So, all right, so you guys are getting this like $10 million grant and everything. So,
well, I know that the puppies are seeing. I think
I love puppers. They're like, yeah, go for the environment. Yeah, get involved.
I know, right? Come here, Benny.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're not getting. They're going to be loud. We're not getting $10 million, actually. The entire watershed is getting $10 million. So
Okay. All right. So thank you for specifying that.
Yeah, it's a little different, but letting the doggos outside. Oh boy. Let them go outside. Okay.
So, all right. So the watershed is getting this wonderful grant. So you were mentioning groups that are getting involved. Like, mention those again one more time.
Sure. There's a lot of different groups involved with a lot of different projects, but some of the groups that Save Barnegat Bay is partnering with for our grants, or, our being a collective, our, not just Save Barnegat Bay, Clean Ocean Action, who is a wonderful group. They live in Monmouth County, but they serve all of New Jersey, and they are, they're a really wonderful organization. I highly recommend checking them out.
Oh, yeah, we're with them, yeah.
Yeah, we're also going to be working with the Marine Academy of Technology and Environmental Science, which is an Ocean County vocational technical school located in Manahawkin. It's a high school with students that work in extra science and math courses. So they are going to be instrumental in helping us monitor water quality and, do public outreach and things like that. And then we're also going to be working with Berkeley Township Underwater Search and Rescue, which is a volunteer, volunteer dive team in Berkeley, which is also a nonprofit. So that it's scuba diving team, I should say. And so they're going to be helping us with the physical part of that sea nettle project, where we're working on boats and bulkheads and stuff like that. And then obviously, well, not actually obviously, but one of the ones that's a little less obvious is the municipal entities of those 5 towns and the towns. So there's 5 towns in the Raleigh project, and there's 3 towns involved in the Sea Nettle project. So it's everywhere, Brick, Toms River, and Berkeley are involved in the Sea Nettle project. And then Toms River, South Toms River, Island Heights, Pine Beach, Ocean Gate, and Beechwood are all involved in the other projects. So there's, even in just those 2 grants, and if I had another 2 hours, I could tell you about the other 500 groups and everything else, but like even in just those 2 grants, we tried to bring together as many partners as we could, because everyone has different skill sets.
Right,
so those are just some of the groups.
Everyone has their own little specialties that are really crucial.
Right. Exactly, yeah. And we all recognize that we can't be good at everything. So, we bring in the people that are.
Awesome. Well, that's the whole thing. I want to highlight this really quick is collaboration.
Yes.
Collaboration.
Yes.
Lovely word. And I say that because also, and this ties into my whole entire mission with the podcast, is that not just one person can, change the world or make it a better place. It's
right.
We actually, I want to make this analogy. We almost have to be like ants.
We have to be.
Yeah. So everyone's like, what the hell? Why are you talking about ants? We're not small. I mean, compared to the universe, we are fucking small. Pardon my language, but we're fucking small. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, the way ants make shit happen, they all work together. No, but seriously, they all work together to make stuff happen. Just to, gather food for the queen, essentially, the giant ant and stuff, and all of them, they go out and they form assembly lines and just take it by themselves. And there's if you watch just one video of ants, they're it's not hey, go do that, we'll be over here chilling. No, they all pitch in, they all collaborate, and that's literally what you guys are doing. You guys are all collaborating because everyone has a specific niche that they do, and you guys are gonna make it happen, and it's gonna be freaking awesome.
Hopefully. That's our hope.
Look, you guys are gonna kill it, and you guys are gonna be working your mother loving butts off. I'm trying to make it a little PG here, even though I just cursed before.
No,
but anyway,
that's super true though. Actually, it's gonna be one word, but it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
So everyone, go check them out. It's gonna be freaking awesome. What's it called? So, okay, so like all these events are going on, like where, where do, where are all of them gonna be, I guess, really happening, essentially?
So the Sea Nettle project will be happening in the lagoons and neighborhoods of Berkeley, Brick, and Toms River. Specific lagoons that we haven't delineated yet, but we definitely are going to want, input and involvement from all the neighbors and communities. And then the Toms River project, same thing, those 5 towns, right near the waterfront and the town area that's very near the waterfront. So any, stormwater infrastructure or sewage infrastructure that's, somewhere near the river itself, or
Right.
creeks that are directly connected to it in that way. So that's where it's physically happening. And then if someone wanted to get involved or get, stay in tune with what's going on, definitely just, obviously those social media sites and websites, obviously we're in the digital age. So that's going to be the easiest way to stay abreast of all the updates. So, for most of them, you're not going to physically be on scene when they're happening. It's not like a cleanup where you like show up and everybody does it together. But it's definitely, you're definitely going to want to stay up to date and the things that are happening.
That's so cool. Awesome. All right. Yes. Sorry, I'm like really excited about this now. I'm really excited for you guys and like just all the people that are going to show up and everything. Or get involved at least. And actually, I want to, and correct me if I'm wrong, you correct me if I'm wrong, like, even if you're, you got a busy schedule or whatever, you can't make it, but you still want to like help out in some way, you could probably just share with a couple friends, so then at least if you can't go, you just send 3 others to replace you.
Yeah, and like I said, there won't be a lot where you have to show up as like an individual person. So these projects are, so the thing that like as a person you could do is learn, especially for the Sea Nettle project, that one's going to be really community oriented, because once you learn how to maintain your dock space and your bulkhead, you can do that whether or not you're within the boundaries of the project anyway. So you could just scrub your bulkhead and maintain it. And that's actually something that's really easy for you to do. If you have, bulkheaded property, which a lot of people who live in Barnegat Bay watershed have. So that one's definitely a hands-on thing. So like you said, sharing information and telling your friends about it is huge. That would be great. And just educating about like the reason why these things are important. That's huge. So yeah.
Share credible information to your friends and family.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I think you mentioned this before, but I'm not totally sure, like back in a couple segments ago. How long have you been with Save Barnegat Bay again?
So I've been working for Save Barnegat Bay for almost 3 years now. But I've been working, I've been working in the Barnegat Bay watershed for many more years than that. But at this organization, just 3.
Okay, so then like, what made you, I guess, become part of this group? Like, what attracted you?
So, pardon me while I make sure you don't die, because my phone is gonna not be charged. Okay, so how did I get involved? So I had a ridiculous number of jobs before I started working at Save Barnegat Bay. I was employed at most of the environmental organizations at one point in time in the Barnegat Bay watershed. And I was, piecemealing different part-time gigs all together, some environmental, some not. And I was networking and learning and showing up to everything I possibly could that I could show up to, and, paid or not, because I wanted to learn. And then the position opened at Save Barnegat Bay where, I was the opportunity to do education full time was, that was the position. And I learned through the process of doing all those different things throughout the watershed that education was something that I was really passionate about, and something that I was actually, that's where my skill sets are. Like I'm good with speaking in front of a group of people. And so yeah, I know where my strengths are. Taking an algebra test, not so much.
I'm only agreeing because the last event that I went to, you were like flawless.
That's not totally true. I make mistakes.
Yeah, you're right. No, I'm kidding.
But no, well, so I know where my strengths and weaknesses are, and so when I got the application for an interview for Save Barnegat Bay, I knew that this was where I wanted to be. I had a passion for this community, and I had spent a lot of time getting to know the different people that work in this community, and I just wanted to continue educating people, because I really believe every night when I lay my head on the pillow that for me, my purpose is to help people understand the environment. And so if I could do that full time, and I can do that in a community that I've already pounded the pavement and, I care a lot about, this is where I've spent, 25 of my 28 years on the planet. I really want to do that. So that's how I got involved with Save Barnegat Bay. The opportunity came up and I knew it was the right fit. And thankfully they picked me. So it was a match, a well-made match, I think.
Hell yeah. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that you were incredibly happy on where you are.
I'm super lucky to be able to do something I love every day.
Yeah,
Really
and to still be doing it during this whole situation.
I know. So we do Facebook Live.
I'm actually quite jealous of you, actually, not gonna lie.
What? Oh, no, well, that's not jealousy. You don't have to be jealous. You can make your own path. That's kind of what I had to do. You have to you kind of have to pave your own way through this crazy world. But we have a virtual program that I go seining every Thursday at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. And Thursday's my last day, this next 2 days from now. And it's insane how many people get involved with that program.
Really?
So I thought it was going to be not well attended, because I'm like, okay, someone's going to see me pulling up the same fish every week and whatever. But you would never believe how many people are excited to watch what's coming up in the net. They're excited. They're like
the mystery is real.
So the weather was bad one day, and they're like, "Can you go out on Friday?" And I was like, "I can't.
Wow,
sorry."
That's awesome.
But
They're
they
so
were
excited
super
about
excited.
it.
Yeah. So COVID has been terrible, but also it's allowed us to kind of do some different things actually that have worked. So it's worked out in the end.
There we go. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, here, cheers to GraceAnne and Save Barnegat Bay. Cheers. Woohoo! Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, so, oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Yes. God. This is why I love doing the podcast, because I just interview awesome people and my inner child comes out, and yeah, it's just great. It's amazing. Let's call it. All right, so we're nearing to the end of the show. And I'm gonna ask, just like how I ask everyone else that attends the show, the main question: what does sustainability mean to you, and as an individual, what do you do to become more sustainable? So it's actually 2 parts.
Okay. So I have more recently adopted, I think environmental things were what kind of got me here in the first place, but I've kind of adopted another organization from New Jersey. They're called Sustainable Jersey, and their mission is to empower towns and businesses and individuals and everyone else, schools, to follow sustainable practices. And the reason I bring them up is because their definition of sustainability, and actually many organizations and entities define sustainability this way, where it's not just environmental issues. sustainability has to do with everything. It has to do with people and their ability to have a quality of life, and it has to do with the environment not being degraded, but it also has to do with our businesses and our economy thriving. So all of those things are linked together. And so to me, sustainability means that all those entities are working together to have a higher quality of life, and higher quality of life can also be linked to clean water, clean air, a safe place to live, you know, places you can walk to, you know, sidewalks, or, you know, places where you can walk your dog safely, where, you know, the waste from your dog is not going to get in the water. There's just all these things are all tied together. Sustainability is everything: art, human health, environmental health, business, you know, thriving. So to me, it means all of those things. And so what do I do to try and be sustainable? That changes every day, actually. So as I make behavior changes, I try to stack them on top of each other. So I don't ever stop trying to learn. So where a few years ago, my behavior changes might have been as simple as, you know, changing my water bottle or my toothbrush, now I'm trying to, you know, take it a step further and, you know, buy local food, support local businesses, you know, support humanitarian efforts on the ground, especially with COVID. And then obviously my full-time job is, you know, in the grind of doing environmental education. And then even my small business on the side, and, you know, being with my friends and family. It's just, sustainability is really adopting the idea that you're going to try and be cognizant of your behavior and how it affects the whole world every day, all day. And that can sound daunting, but for me, that's how I do it. I think about everything I buy as best I possibly can. And I'm not perfect by any means. I drive a car, you know, I use straws once in a while. It's not a perfect plan, but I definitely just try to be really thoughtful about how everything I'm doing impacts the community. And so that's how I try to be sustainable. There you go.
Woohoo! Yes. Oh, I
I'm trying to like cut myself
that
off
was
because I
awesome.
can like ramble.
No, that was awesome. And it was
Hopefully someone
awesome
else
just
is
because that
inspired.
was it was from you, and that was awesome.
Thank you.
Well, GraceAnne, thank you so much for freaking being on the show. Oh my
You
God!
got it.
Like, no, I'm just happy about it. This is great.
I'm honored to be here, and I hope that your listeners found something that they can be excited about too.
You know, I hope so too. If you guys, as you guys are watching these few segments of this episode, if you guys, you know, didn't know about something or want us to, you know, answer any of your other questions, please feel free to comment down below in the comment section, and we will do our best to answer them for this particular episode. And I personally actually, whenever someone comments, I actually do get notification, and I'll jump right in and start messaging you and stuff. So don't hesitate to message if you want. Other than that, real quick, just mention like some of your contact info so the listeners could really get involved in the Ocean County area.
Yeah, so Save Barnegat Bay is super easy. If you can remember those 3 words, we are on all the social media sites with those 3 words. And then our emails are easy as well. And mine is education@savebarnegatbay.org. And so that is our website, my email, and all our social media sites. We're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter, and you know, you can find our website, and that has a lot of great information on it. And we, you know, we are so grassroots. That's what we do. We, you know, we are constantly responding to our neighbors in our community. So feel free to reach out. That's what we're here for. And we love having the involvement of our community. That's important to us. So hopefully I'll hear back from someone.
Hey, that would be awesome. I fully encourage everyone to get involved, even if it's a little bit. A little bit can definitely go a long way. And actually, on that note, just to real quick shout out. Go to my friend. She has her own peanut brittle company going on right now. It's My Brittle LLC. So it's believe it or not, it is vegan, and believe it or not, it does not stick to your teeth. I have tried it myself. That's why I'm helping her out with this little advertisement. I've tried it myself, and I've also tried to promote her as well through other means. But yeah, it doesn't stick, and it's a vegan treat. It's totally vegan friendly, and honestly, me personally, you can't even tell the difference. But that's just me. Amongst other people too. But yeah, go to mybrittle.com. Enter in the promo code DRINKSUST, drink as in a drink, and then SUST for sustainability. So DRINKSUST, all lower caps, all one word. You get a small discount and support a local business, and feel awesome about it, and get a free treat in the process. So I don't know who would argue with that. And then and also go check out my brewery over here, Beach Haus Brewery. I'm also not getting paid to shout them out, but I definitely want to, help them out anyway, because they're just awesome and support environmental initiatives too. So yeah, go check out Beach Haus Brewery in Belmar on Main Street. 8th Ave, 8th or 9th Ave. I know where they are. I just don't really pay attention to the streets sometimes. But yeah, Belmar, and as Beach Haus Brewery and Belmar, tell them that the drink sustainability, Ted sent you. Be all good and enjoy a nice brew. So, all right, guys. Until next time, have fun. Be safe. Please be safe, and get in contact with Save Barnegat Bay.
Awesome. Thank you.
GraceAnne, it was awesome. A pleasure. To you again. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Woohoo! Cling to the environment, damn it. Woohoo! Yeah.
Thank you for having
last
me.
shot. Sweet. No, thank you so much for being on. This was
got it.
awesome. We have to do it again. And
Yeah.
hopefully in person very, very soon.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully.
You have a good night, and I have to get ready for bed.
Okay. See you soon, Ted.
Till next time, guys. Good night.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching The Drink Sustainability. Warning. As you watch the show, be sure to clink at your own risk. Drinks may not appear the way that they seem.